What's up, guys, and thank you for watching CIRCLEWOOD MMA. We just had the biggest week in mixed martial arts history. I really don't know where to begin, but we had 3 events in the week, and that consisted of 2 title changes and a new interim featherweight champion. It all started with Eddie Alvarez taking the UFC lightweight title from Rafael dos Anjos, and he just scored a huge TKO in the first round, and he went out there and just dismantled Rafael dos Anjos. And I'm gonna have to give it to Rafael dos Anjos because he really took a beating, and he just did his everything he could, but the ref just saw that he had enough and called the fight. But we got a new champion in Eddie Alvarez. We then saw Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and she fought Claudia Gadelha, and that was a crazy fight they had for the women's strawweight title, but Joanna survived. It was the first 2 rounds, but Claudia was really putting it on her for the first 2, and then, she just tired out and gassed, but Joanna, with her crazy cardio, she survived all of it. In the last 3 rounds, she just put it on Claudia, and she just added a really impressive title defense to her resume. After that, we had UFC 200. And, Brock Lesnar made his UFC return, and he scored a big decision victory over Mark Hunt. But the question now is he going to keep fighting, or did he just show up for this one night to get that big $2.5 million payday? I don't know, but I mean, it's really interesting now. I'm ready to see what's going to happen with that. We had Jose Aldo and Frankie Edgar. They fought for the interim featherweight championship, and I'm going to say that Jose Aldo just looked unbeatable out there. His takedown defense was just crazy. Frankie could barely, he couldn't get a takedown for anything, and his striking, like always, was just crazy. And it was really good to see him rebound from that huge knockout and come back and win the championship again. I am really excited for the rematch with him and Conor McGregor. I really hope that Conor McGregor will hurry up and drop down and defend his title. We had Anderson Silva. He fought Daniel Cormier at light heavyweight, and he just really didn't have much for Daniel Cormier's takedowns, but I didn't expect much else with him stepping up with only 2 days notice. But he did land a big body kick that hurt Daniel. It really hurt Daniel, but it was in the 3rd round, and that was pretty much all he had. He just didn't have anything for Daniel Cormier. And, we ended that night with Amanda Nunes, and she won the women's bantamweight championship off of Miesha Tate, and she did it in the first round by rear naked choke. And it's kind of funny, but, that's the same submission that Miesha Tate just won the title from Holly Holm on. And as a lot of you guys know, Anderson Silva did step in for John Jones, and John Jones failed a pre-fight drug test. And Chael Sonnen was on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he reported that it was for 2 estrogen blockers. I don't know, but either way, John Jones has once again done something just incredibly stupid that has stopped him from getting his belt, and just get on bad terms with the fans and the UFC. And Dana White just says, he's not talking to him right now, and I really can't blame the guy. But, Michael Bisping, they just announced his first opponent for his, his opponent for his first title defense, and it's going to be Dan Henderson. And a lot of people don't agree with that, but, I think Jacare Souza was probably the best candidate, and he agrees, and I think a lot of other people agree. But I think the UFC is just going for that money fight, and they're wanting that rematch with Dan Henderson. But I guess we're gonna end this episode with the news of the UFC being sold, and it sold for $4 billion. Now, it is known that Dana White had a percent, he had stock in this company, but I've heard it was 10%, I've heard it was 9%. Either way, he walked away with close to $400 million. And the crazy part to me is that he's keeping his job there. Most people probably would have taken that check and be like, hey, kiss my ass, see y'all later. But it just shows his dedication to the sport and the company that he's sticking around. But that's crazy, and I just really hope that these new owners, I hope that they can keep the sport growing and keep adding the talent that that the UFC has been going with. And man, I don't know, I guess time's going to tell. But let me know what you guys think about all this, and please leave a like and subscribe and keep your eye out for more videos. Thanks, guys.